What has been reported is that Amazon is now approaching certain retailers to license this technology. This is the last piece of data that Amazon doesn't have access to. But if I don't have a competitive solution, I'm going to be in big trouble. Let's talk about Amazon Go. Amazon Go has been out for a few years now, cashierless. I have cameras in the ceiling. They watch you. You pick something off the shelf. Boom, it knows that you just picked this thing off the shelf. Amazon Go, I think, is a groundbreaking transformational technology for the retail industry as we know it. A couple of reasons why. Lossage, especially in food and grocery in these industries. I think most grocery stores expect like a 3% lossage rate, which is basically theft and stuff goes bad, right? I take some produce off the shelf. I don't put it back into a refrigerated area in the store, but I don't buy it. That food goes bad. I got to throw it out. So there's all these kinds of, that was really just kind of a logistics and operational thing. There's obviously some produce that just doesn't get bought and then that goes bad. But the grocery business is such a low margin business to begin with. 3% lossage is a pretty big deal.
Yes, very big.
So presumably Amazon Go would cut down on that because if I take something off the shelf and I don't put it back where I got it, it considers that a purchase. So you got to put it back where you got it, which then helps to solve that issue. The other thing are just square footage and the amount of square footage you spend on cashiers. And basically that all goes away because it's now all automated. And if you go into any grocery store in Manhattan, you will expect probably at least like a 20 or 30 minute wait time in a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's or any of these places. Actually check out, yep. Which is why I don't go grocery shopping in Manhattan. And then that's also why now you have Instacarts of the world and all these kinds of things. But if you can now, reduce the labor associated with having a cashier, make the retail experience fun and seamless where I don't have to wait to check out. I mean, you're now giving less labor cost, more square footage back to the store to use to actually stock products, to sell products, and making the experience better, seamless, faster, and more fun. It's a big win. Now, what has been reported is that Amazon is now approaching certain retailers to license this technology. Amazon has reported that they might actually have 3,000 of their own Amazon Go stores in the next few years. But Amazon's also not going to go sell everything under the sun. And there's certain industries that they just don't want to get into, maybe like certain clothes, or I don't know, certain industries that just...
Certainly not in terms of physical retail stores.
Physical retail, exactly. So now they're approaching some retailers off the record and saying, hey, would you want to license this technology? And the retailers are saying, oh my God, I don't know what to do because this is the last piece of data that Amazon doesn't have access to. What am I selling in my store? But if I don't have a competitive solution, I'm going to be in big trouble because eventually consumers are going to want this experience.
Right.
Consumers are going to want the experience, A, and B, look at what it does to the economics of my store. Also, if you sell clothes, lots of lossage through theft for clothes. Big expense for clothing retailers. So pretty big deal. Now, there's a report recently about different retailers that are trying to take this on. Walmart's trying to take this on and do their own cashierless thing. Tesco was just in the news, this UK grocery store, which is trying to do its own thing. And basically, Tesco's working with a startup. I think Walmart's trying to do this in-house, maybe. There's reports that Microsoft is developing an Amazon Go competitor. That was from last year. PayPal, I think, is developing an Amazon Go competitor. Why aren't Visa, MasterCard, and Amex developing an Amazon Go competitor? When I think about, and they're also platform companies. To me, those are the players that should really be in the space. Those are the players that should, A, see this as a threat, and B, have the relationships with the retailers and really have an ecosystem approach where they integrate with a lot of different vendors.
I would say I'd be surprised if they haven't thought about it. And I would guess that they have. I think that they might not be ready to take it public the way Amazon Go has. So Amazon certainly has an advantage. Mm-hmm. But if a PayPal is looking at this, I know Alibaba and has looked at this in China. Mm-hmm. I would assume that the big payment platforms in the U.S. Have also been looking at this.
Thanks for watching our latest clip. If you enjoy the content we're creating on Winner Take All, please feel free to leave us a comment, subscribe, and definitely join us on our next live stream.